Yes, and welcome to another episode of your ever needful, ever helpful program on Nimrod Radio worldwide. And the title of the program is Your Health. On this channel, this is the time we discuss issues about your health. It is important we go through this route so that your health will be all right, your health will be certain, and then every other thing about your life is going to fall in line for you as you live your life. My name is Bimpe Esan Adedeji. We ride on 3 segments on the program. The first segment is where we bring up an issue of health, and this is the time we announce the topic, we announce that area of focus for today. The second segment is where we, present the detail in the topic, everything we need to know within the time frame that we have on the program. We present it on the second segment. And the third segment is where we lay emphasis on certain things that we've mentioned earlier. It is important we take, a good care of ourselves so that our health can stand properly, so that we can have the stability in our health. So every area of your life is going to be fine. They will say health is wealth. It is important you pay attention to that. It is not just for fun. It's a philosophy that is very true. On the program today, we definitely have a topic, and we will return with the topic that we have for today. As this says your health on Nimrod Radio worldwide. And on your health program, we talk about issues of health that could endanger, endanger our lives or engender us to live healthily. And it is important that we pay attention to the issues on your health. And that is why it is important for you to share the video so that as many that it reaches is going to be of benefit to them. On the program, we ride on 3 segments. The first segment is where we announce the topic for the day, that area of health. It could be a challenge, it could be something you need to know, an issue of health, as it is important. We announce it on the first segment. And on the second segment, we give a kind of analysis or a detail of what we need to know within the frame of time that we have on the program. On the third segment, we lay emphasis, we repeat some certain things that we must remember after the program is over. On your health program on Nimrod Radio worldwide, we really care about your psychological and physiological health. Even your emotional health is of importance to us on this channel. Today we have a topic. Sometimes we believe that sicknesses and diseases, when they leave, when you apply the right medication, or when you treat them and they leave you, it is just automatic that your body is sanitized once and for all. That's not true, because anytime you have fought a sickness or a disease, you still need to bring your body under that, that condition that will make sicknesses and diseases to be out of your life forever. And that is why this topic today has to do with our consciousness, on the way we live. It has to do with your consciousness on your lifestyle. And when you can pay attention to this kind of illness, this kind of disease will not come near you. And if you have it, peradventure you are out there and you have it, maybe you are already on medication, what we're going to hear on the program today is going to help you to know how best you can live your life, and then you can kick that ailment out forever. Today, we are talking about high blood pressure. When we talk about high blood pressure, it has to do with what people commonly call hypertension. When you look at the word, you want to look at hyper and then look at tension. Those two words, they are on the extreme side. And that's why it is important, even at calling a name of a sickness, you should know what it suggests. So high blood pressure is a kind of disease or sickness that put a life under high tension. When you have the cable of the electricity, people, you are under the life wire. That is the way hypertension is to the body or to a life. And today we are going to be talking about a whole lot of things about hypertension, which is also known as high blood pressure. What is it, with hypertension? Does it come on people without knowing, or without them having the understanding, or without them, having the awareness that this is the way it could come? Today, you're going to see how it jumps on people. And of course, what you can do. What are the symptoms? Does it have any symptom at all if it is coming, or if you are already with it? And then what are the things to do in order to combat it, in order to fight and win over hypertension? Our topic today is about high blood pressure. Yes, it's a condition that is common. People know it is very common, rampant, especially in Africa, because a whole lot of things that we do depict struggles. And so you will get to know what it means to have high blood pressure through struggle. Then we know it affects the arteries of the body. It works by forcefully pushing the blood against the wall of the artery. Artery is that part of your body, that organ in your body. When you talk about vein, if you don't know an artery, you should remember vein. Vein is a common one. Though artery and vein differ, they are not the same, but then it will help you. The function of vein is very close to that of artery. Artery is that organ of your body, or in your body, that carries the blood away from your heart to the other part of your body. And when you have an organ doing this, how does it have to do, with hypertension, with high blood pressure? It's a condition. High blood pressure is a condition that pushes your blood against the wall of your artery. It pushes your blood against the wall of your artery. Then the picture that came to my mind by saying that is that of a hot water bottle. Some of us, we have it at home, hot water bottle. At times, when you heat up the water, to the boiling point, and it's very hot, you need that hot water bottle for certain things, so that maybe to relieve pain, or to give you a kind of comfort, at a part that you're feeling hot. Yes, that's when you use your hot water bottle. The picture that came is that of when you put the water in that hot water bottle, and then you cork it up. You cover it up, and then there's a time that the skin of your hot water bottle will be getting very weak. Another time it could burst, it could cut. That's the way when the blood is having high pressure. It gives a kind of heat towards the wall of the artery. And artery performs an amazing work, for us in our body, because it carries the blood from your heart to the other part of your body. And if anything happens to that, of course, the whole body is going to react. That is the condition that produces, high blood pressure, that produces hypertension. When the pressure of your blood is so high as to hit forcefully the wall of your artery, there is a problem ahead of time. And that's why we have to know about high blood pressure. What could make the blood to rise so high? What could push up, the pressure of the blood? A lot of time we struggle, and we don't even put limit on that struggling. And when that happens, it is possible you eat up the pressure of your blood, and it will definitely affect the organ that passes the blood to the other part of your body. And today we are still going to be talking about a lot of things about hypertension. Yes, as I'm saying high blood pressure, I may be saying hypertension, because both means the same. The measurement of blood pressure is in millimeters of mercury, mmHg. That is the measurement. So its reading is like, for an instance, 120/80. And the 120 is the upper measurement that you have when you are taking the measurement of the blood pressure. And the 80, that is the down part of the measurement, the one that is at the base of your measurement. Now, the 80 must remain constant. It means nothing must happen to it. You know why? The 80 there is like the regulator. It regulates, the total measurement of the pressure of your blood. And so if anything happens to it, it actually, signifies a kind of danger. And so, for an instance, when it is being measured, you hear something from the health worker like 120/80. That is your blood pressure measurement. And then you could have it in all the way as well. When you have 120 to 129/80, that means you have elevated BP. you have elevated blood pressure. It means a little bit up pressure. So you must just be able to take note of this anytime you are having measurement on your blood pressure. And we have said that the 80 there must be constant. If it is not, if it is higher than 80, it's an indication that there is a danger. So we must pay attention to that. So anytime you ask for the measurement of your blood pressure, please don't forget to interpret it the right way. So if the measurement comes out like 131 to 139 per 81 to 89, you know, we said it all the time, the 80 there must be constant, but now you're having it 131, which is also dangerous. 131, that is the upper measurement of that equipment used to measure your blood pressure, you know. And then you have the one that's supposed to be constant, which is the regulator of the blood pressure itself, having it as at 81 to 89. That's quite dangerous. And so that is what they call stage 1 hypertension. When you have the measurement to be 130 to 139 per 81 to 89, that is the first stage of hypertension. And when this happens, a lot of people do not, you know, pay attention to that, because they wouldn't even go to take that kind of measurement, let alone know that they have it as high as that. So when you have 131 to 139 per 81 to 89, that's on the high side, is you are into the first stage of hypertension. Okay, let's go to another stage of it. When you have the reading to be 180 per 120 mmHg of the blood pressure, you know, it's an emergency case. Okay, before we even get to that, there should be another stage. You know, apart from stage 1, you have the stage 2 hypertension. When you have the reading to be 180 per 120, you know, we said the 80 must be constant. Why the other one is first stage hypertension is when you have the 80 that's supposed to be constant to be 81 to 89 now. Then the second stage hypertension is going to read 180 per 120 mmHg. You know, it is just the second stage, and it is close to the emergency stage of having hypertension. You know why a lot of people, why they crash, you know, with this kind of measurement, is that they are negligence. They don't want to care about taking caution on taking the measurement at the right time. You can't afford to continue to struggle. You can afford to go out in the morning, return in the night, and you know your work is stressful without you taking time on your health. Is very important. Then we get to the emergency case of hypertension. How do we see, you know, the measurement? The measurement at the emergency case is 180 to 120. You know, 180 to 120. And when this occurs, it means it's really, really dangerous. At the emergency case or at the crisis stage, anything could happen. Anything could surface, and that's why you don't play games with your health. If you, it's not what you can feel sometimes, it's what you must be deliberate about. So you take a step out of your time to take your measurement on the blood pressure, and then it's going to be safe for you to do that. You can't apply the remedy. A lot of times, or let's say sometimes, don't let us be absolute now, sometimes people die because they were not aware of this condition. Yours shouldn't be like that. You have the choice to make, and that's the choice to live. And so you must take the step today. So when the measurement is 180 per 120 mmHg of the blood pressure, then it is at the emergency state or the emergency case of hypertension at surface. And this is the time it's really, really advisable that you take caution, and whatever the health officials are saying, you must take to it. You must obey it. You must follow the direction, the regulations, and the rules, because you have actually left that disease to graduate to that stage. Yes, when we return, we will be rounding up on the program, but we will still be saying a lot of things as touching high blood pressure. Yes, we ended that session by saying there is what is called a hypertensive emergency state, And that is a state you would not want to be, because that's the stage you don't have choice than to dance to the tune of the medical officials. Whatever they tell you, you must obey, because at that point, anything could crash your health totally. So the first stage of hypertension, the second stage, the third stage, which is the emergency, the emergency state, you must obey whatever they say. Before you cross to that kind of stage, why not go out to check your BP? We have these officials, we have these health workers, even in the markets now. You can take advantage of that. Another thing we must talk about, are the dangers that are attached to high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, all the serious health problems. They could arise from having the condition of high blood pressure. And why would you wait till the time you have these other chronic conditions in your health? You must get up and defend, the pressure of your blood today. A whole lot of things that you can do to do that. We have mentioned, you must take to the advice of the medical expert if you know you have it already. Yes, I know and I believe faith is working 100%. But then there is what we call wisdom of faith. So you must apply whatever religion you practice. Maybe you are a Muslim or a Christian. You must pay attention to the wisdom attached to living this physical life. And that's why you don't claim some things by faith. You must take steps in order to have result. How do you know you have it? What are the symptoms as the expert will say it? What are the signs that you will see if you have hypertension? Sometimes in some people, and especially when they have just get to that first stage, they have just gotten to that first stage of hypertension, they don't see any sign. So it doesn't feel you have anything of such. And that's why it is needful to take caution by taking your measurement at the right time. Then sometimes in some people, it could come, and that is when it is actually going through the most dangerous side of it. You can have headache. You could have shortness of breath when you don't breathe freely. We talk about the blood that your heart is pumping, being carried to the other part of your body, through the artery. When you now notice that there's shortness of breath in the way you live, in your system, of course, you are the only one that can actually detect that. Nobody will do that for you. So when you notice that, you should know that kind of condition is what you shouldn't be quiet about. Then we have another sign as nosebleed. When it gets to this stage, you should know that your blood pressure is high. And so there is a need for a remedy so that you can combat and win over. These are the signs that could, show when you are actually drifting away from the normal stage of hypertension to the higher stage of it. As we round up on the program today, we still need to look at the remedies to high blood pressure. There's virtually no sickness or disease that would not have a remedy, because we are in charge here. Human beings are higher, and we are higher than any form of sicknesses or diseases. That is, if we can live up to task, if we can actually stand up and fight all of these diseases and sicknesses. God has designed our brain in such an amazing way that we can provide solution to so many things, including these invisible, diseases, these invisible illnesses. Okay, the first remedy is you must know your BP. We've said it earlier. And of course, you can decide to start to take notice of your BP or take the measurement of your BP when you clock 18 years old. Yes, we believe on Nimrod Radio Worldwide, we attend to adults on this program, Your Health. And so you must take care of that. Many of us, we are older than 18, and so you should be able to take up that responsibility. It is your responsibility to check your BP regularly. Sometimes the medical people, they recommend that you can take it once in 2 years, but then if you know you need it more frequently, depending on you can take as much measurement as you want, during the year. And then you must take time to rest. Take time out of your tight schedule to rest. What about people who are fat? You may not be fat, but you still feel a kind of weight. You may not be too fat, but you still feel a kind of weight. You must take time out to lose the weight, to burn out the fat that you have. Even literally speaking, you know that the heart pumps blood around the body, alongside with your artery and vein. But then when you are too fat, that's why they will advise it is dangerous for the environment of your heart if you have too much fatness. And so you must burn out any fat that want to give you additional weight, because of course it's going to affect the way blood is being circulated around your body. And of course the circulation of your blood has to do with your blood pressure. They are interwoven. Then you must practice regular physical activity. Yes, we call it commonly exercise. But then you don't have the time to go to the gym. You don't have the time to, a regular time that you do exercise your body, especially when you leave home in the morning, you want to return in the night. You have activities at work. That's part of it. So physical activities daily, physical activeness is all you need to stay fit and to, of course, combat what is called hypertension. Then you must reduce your salt intake. Your salt intake must be worked upon. You can't afford to keep eating salt as if you need it more than any ingredient in whatever you prepare as meal. So you must cut down on the rate at which you take salt. And of course, some will advise that if you so much desire salt, why don't you remove seasonings? Because when you remove seasonings, in our seasonings we have some quantity of salt. So when you reduce your seasoning, you are indirectly reducing the intake of your salt. And if you want to go with seasoning, why don't you cut down on your salt intake totally, in order for your health to be normal, in order for your health to be good? Then if you are still in the habit of smoking, you need to quit. You must do that. You must stop the habit of smoking, because it's not going to do your heart, your artery, your kidney, and every other internal organs any good. And that's why you must quit it. It doesn't give you any benefit. Then why are you engaging in it? Whatever you are doing, even on the pack of the cigarette, they will write that smokers are liable to die young. Why would you go in that path? Why will you move on that lane? So it's better for you to take care of your health now and live long to reap the labor, of your hand, to reap whatever you have sown in good works. So you must quit smoking. It mustn't be part of your lifestyle anymore, because we are talking about raising the pressure of your blood, and you must not do that to yourself. You must imbibe good culture in order for you to stay healthy. And then we talk about the last prescription, which is the last remedy. If you know you are with that condition of high blood pressure already, you need medication. We have a lot of people moving around the city now. They have this condition, but they are not aware. Of course, you must go back to the first remedy, which is checking your BP regularly. Go out there. There are more important things in life. It's good to look for money. It's good for you to struggle and put in effort, at your best, at your best way, in your best way. But then, what about your health? Whatever you have, when your health is gone, whatever you have is useless. We've heard the story of people being hospitalized and they spend all that they had and then they eventually die. It means they actually struggle for that life. It's not good to get to that level before we realize that our health is more important than struggling to make ends meet. Then another thing we must know is that while you are taking your medication, you must maintain healthy living, healthy lifestyle. This is the way it will work. You may have your focus on that medication, but I want to tell you, if you don't maintain your healthy lifestyle, it's still not going to work. It's still not going to give you your desired result. And so everything altogether has to do with paying attention to our health. So if you have this condition, there's hope for you. All you need to do is that you go through the way of checking your BP regularly. You go through the way of cutting down on your salt intake. You go through the way of exercising your body every day. Engaging in physical activity daily. And then you must also go in the way of making sure that you don't overstress yourself. You need rest at adequate time, at the right time, and adequately. I want to thank you from Nimrod Radio Worldwide today for watching Your Health on Nimrod Radio Worldwide. My name is Bimpe Esan Adedeji. I want to thank the engineer on set for being around and for being helpful on the program. And Moyolua, I recognize her as well for being together with me on the program today. By the grace of God, we're going to meet next week on the program Your Health again. I want to tell you again that you should take care of your health because it is important to your life. You will grow old as you practice these healthy lifestyles.